Hi everyone, my name is Christy and welcome to day 1066 of trying a new makeup product every day. Today I'm really excited to try out a product from a makeup brand that I had not heard of before, so I love trying out new makeup brands to me, and this is from Studiomakeup. It's the Silk Hydration Face Primer. And this is a product I got in my December 2020 Ipsy Glam Bag Ultimate box. And I'm really excited to try this out. I love trying out face primers, and I love that this one is hydrating. It says it's formulated with hyaluronic acid, and that sounds like exactly the type of primer that my skin needs these days, because with the cold weather, my skin has just been so dry. I'm trying to do everything I can to keep it hydrated. So this retails for $30, but like I said, I got it for a good deal in my Ipsy Glam Bag Ultimate box. So if you have not seen my unboxing of that, I'll have that video linked in the description down below so you can see all of the products I got. It says it's supposed to blur imperfections. So I want to start out by applying it to my skin just like it is with no makeup on it to see if there's any visible difference. So here's how it looks. Let's see. A little squeezy tube. I'm just going to start out with a tiny bit, and I'm going to go ahead and just apply it to half of my face, and let's see what it does to my imperfections, like the large pores here on my cheek. I like the texture of it. I feel like it's really easy to blend out, and a little goes a long way. Seems pretty hydrating, first impression. I can't really see that I'm noticing much visible difference or blurring. It kind of just looks like I'm applying a moisturizer. And that's pretty much what it feels like as well. And so I do have some dry patches like on my nose and my chin. So I'm really curious to see what this does for that, if it helps smooth and hydrate those areas. Looking at my skin with the primer on before foundation, it looks like it hydrated my dry patches, and it does seem to leave a little bit of a glow, a little hydrating glow. And I'd say that it looks like a pretty smooth surface for makeup. There's a little bit of tackiness, which I like in my primers. It helps grip it, give me more coverage, make it more long lasting. But as far as like seeing any blurring effect, wearing this alone to help improve imperfections, I'm not really seeing that difference. But next up, I'm gonna try applying my foundation. So I'm gonna just leave half of my face with the primer versus half without it, so then we can compare how the foundation looks. So the foundation I always use when I try out primers is this e.l.f. Flawless Finish foundation. I always use this foundation when I try out primers because it really shows skin texture underneath. I'm noticing some good gripping of the foundation onto the primer. And you can even, like, I'm not sure if my microphone's picking it up, but you could even hear it with the sponge. Like, you can hear that little like sticking, gripping sound. And it does seem to be blending out evenly. I'm not seeing complete hydration though of the dry patches. Like, I can still see dry texture even with this so-called hydrating primer. But so foundation is applied to half of my face that has the primer. We'll go ahead and see how the foundation looks without it, just to compare the differences. It's funny, like when I'm applying the foundation to the side of my face without the primer, it just sounds different. Like I don't have that sticking sponge sound anymore, because there's not that tackiness. And without that tackiness, I think it's a little bit harder to build up the coverage, because this foundation does have buildable coverage, but I can get more coverage when there's tackiness. Okay, so now that the foundation is fully applied, there's really not much of a difference at all in how my skin and my makeup looks with the primer versus without it. So I have to look up close, and where I have the dry patches, like my chin and my nose here, it looks exactly the same amount of dry texture with the hydrating primer versus without it. So it really made no hydrating difference in the dry patches of my skin. The only place where I can see a slight improvement is where I don't exactly have the dry patches, just my rest of my skin. With the primer, it looks a little bit smoother than the side without it, where there's a little bit more dryness, cakiness. I'm definitely bummed that it didn't work to hydrate where I'm actually dry, but it does give a little bit more of a smooth appearance to the makeup. So at least it did something, but I just don't feel like it does enough, especially for $30. To me, that's an expensive primer, and I'd want it to completely hydrate my skin or make more of a visible difference in how my makeup looks without the primer. So if you don't have dry skin and you don't have dry patches, this primer would probably work nicely to just give a smooth, moisturized appearance to your skin and your makeup. But if you do have dry skin, I would say that we need something more hydrating than this primer. But I definitely want to know your thoughts on this in the comments down below if you have tried this out. I haven't heard too much about this primer or this makeup brand in general. So if you've tried any other studio makeup products, let me know your thoughts on them. Let me know if there's any that you would recommend. And thank you so much for watching my video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see the makeup that I try every day. And I will see you tomorrow in my next video.